Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, and welcome to our webinar for using the EOCP CRM for instructors. I hope that you've taken a moment to review the other webinars for general CRM functions listed in the description below. My name is Heather Reynolds. I'm the Administrative Specialist for the EOCP. I've been with EOCP since June 2007. I was a part of the original team for CEU allocations. I assisted in building the training registry in 2009 and 10, maintained the CEUs and training registry until 2017, when we rebuilt and launched the EOCP Career Management System, the CMS. I've been here for the history of CEUs and the CEU requirement for operators. So if you have a CEU or training provider question, I'm your girl. In today's webinar, we will cover the following topics: basic registration, establishing or editing relationships, the instructor application, which includes the requirements of the application itself, as well as subject matter area submissions. We'll also go over instructor functions once you're recognized and submitting a course for recognition. We will also go through how to access course completion confirmation forms, and throughout the presentation, I will provide live examples. If you're not currently a CRM user, you will have to create a profile for yourself. From the EOCP homepage, you click Login and then choose Register. The password must be a minimum of 6 characters in length, consisting of at least one capital letter, one number, and one special character, a hashtag or an exclamation mark, for example. If you already have a profile with EOCP, please don't register a second one. Instead, log into your existing profile. If you don't recall your password, you can choose Forgot Password. If you can't recall the email address that you used to create your profile, you can give us a call and I can give you a hand. Please note that for government persons, we really prefer you to use your gov.bc.ca or your government email. It makes it easier for quick recognition by EOCP administrators. To use the CRM, you must have at least one relationship to submit applications. For instructors, you need to establish a relationship with the training provider that you work with. In order to see the details for your organization, you have to have an accepted relationship to that organization. Please note that relationship should be with an entity, not with a specific person. If the training organization that you work for is not listed, please contact the EOCP office and I can assist. If you've added a relationship and you see that it's been in pending status for more than 10 business days, you can contact us at the EOCP office and we can update it for you. We do have someone in the office who monitors the new relationships that have been processed, and it generally takes 10 business days, but sometimes we get a lot of submissions. Please note that the pending relationship does not impact your ability to apply to become an instructor. Also, you cannot delete a relationship. If there is a gross error that should not be present, please call the office and we can give you a hand. Otherwise, we like to maintain a historical record. So if a relationship has come to a close, you would just put an end date in. Using Action, Add Relationship, you can add a new relationship to your profile. You can right-click and edit to update an existing relationship and make changes to it. When adding a new relationship, you will need to include the start date for that relationship. To update the start date of an existing relationship, you would right-click on the relationship line. You can change the start date by typing the date or by using the arrow buttons in the calendar provided. Important! Only click Primary or Billing if you are the main contact for the entire organization or the person who is responsible for paying everyone's fees. Otherwise, leave those checkboxes blank. I'll show you an example of this right now. So heading over to the CRM, I have my Heather instructor profile. On my profile that I created, I have established a relationship with EOCP. administrative specialist, but it's accepted. Somebody at EOCP has already taken a look at this. However, I noticed back in my records, that's actually not the start date. I want to edit this one. To edit an existing relationship, you right-click anywhere on the line and select Edit. A little window will pop up and you'll have the ability to edit the relationship. So let's say that it should have been in 2011 instead of 2012. I can either type the date or you can scroll through and use the calendar options. All right, once I'm done, I press submit. The screen refreshes. Now that I've made a change to that relationship, it's popped into pending status. It's pending review by somebody at EOCP. If I want to add a new relationship, you go to the right-hand top corner, the Action button. You click Action, Add Relationship. For this one, I'm going to add myself to a training provider. I've been given wonderful permission by Maintenance Training Systems in Vernon to use them as examples today. So I'm going to add myself as an instructor to MTS, Maintenance Training Systems. Let's say that we started that relationship on the 1st of March. I'm a new instructor with MTS. All right, once I press submit, it'll go into pending status. I want to quickly highlight one more time that you only select primary or billing if you are the primary or billing contact for that entire organization. Otherwise, just leave those blank. Perfect. Once the screen refreshes, I will have 2 relationships on my instructor profile. Both of them are presently in pending status. The first one's with the EOCP. The second one is my new instructor with MTS. Since we're currently in the CRM right now, I'm just going to show you how to apply to become an instructor. On your profile page, under the Action button, there are a number of other options. Everybody has the ability to add courses that they've taken, add education, apply for exams, upgrade multi-utility levels, apply for reciprocity, or print a CEU summary. Those options are all for operators typically. Today, we're really focusing on how to apply to become an instructor. The application will open up in a new tab when you select that option. The first page of the application goes through the basics that we're going to be looking for during the application. You're going to need to provide a description. You're going to need to provide your experience. You're going to need a paragraph of 600 characters or less describing your qualifications for teaching with the subject matter areas. You'll also need to provide at least 2 letters confirming that you have the experience. And there is a template for the confirmation of experience letters within the application. If you like, there's a couple PDFs that you could take a look at here. One of them titled, So, You're Thinking of Applying. And the second one is the instructor checklist. You can download these and take a look at them. For the application itself, we're going to continue to the next page. All right, so those relationships that we had on our main profile page appear here in the instructor application. I can add another relationship now if I wanted to. For subject matter areas, the subject matter areas are used to establish your areas of knowledge and areas that you would like to teach in. One thing to keep in mind about the instructor application is that this is about you, not about who you're working for or the organization that you're teaching for. In many cases, instructors can take their instructor profile and work for a number of training providers. So when you're completing this application, just make sure that you're focused on yourself and your subject matter expertise. For my example today, I've filled in a couple options just to see what it's going to look like for one subject matter area, but these drop-down boxes will give you a couple options to choose from. So let's say that we're going to go where wastewater treatment is our general area of expertise, instrumentation, and just getting more specific, I'm a SCADA specialist. That's what I know everything about. I'm just making things up, but that's okay for our example today. Now that we have our subject matter areas and I've selected 2 validators, Kim Eames is the Director of Operations for EOCP and Kalpana Solanki is the President and CEO. So I'm just using their names as examples for today. But if I download my subject matter area letter, it will download to my computer. And then I'll be able to send it to Kim and Kalpana and get them to sign off on it. So I've just downloaded my letter, but obviously it's not signed right now. So I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm just going to click Save Draft. That way I can save my application and get Kim and Kalpana in my hypothetical example to sign off on those forms. Fast forward a little bit, they've signed off on the forms and I'm ready to continue with my application. When you log back into your profile, your pending applications are under Action Items, Applications. These little bars here, Profile, Relationships, Learning Status, Account, Action Items, are clickable. Applications are under Action Items, Applications. And here's my pending application. I just click it and it'll open up again in a new tab, continuing right where I left off, everything that I just entered. Okay, so I've got my forms now. I'm going to continue with the application. Here's where we're looking for a little bit of additional information. If we want to know about the experience that you have with the subject matter areas that you wish to teach. So words, make sure you put in some words. Then we have the description about you and qualifications. This is where you would include things like your education, if you have a bachelor's, if you have any post-secondary, if you have hands-on experience with the subject matter area, companies that you work for, and utilities that you have had roles within. And if you have teaching experience, you could put your description here. Finally, there is a profile. It's where you would provide information about yourself and your teaching, where you're willing to teach, things like that. Just continuing with the application, there is a quick little question about the availability, where you would be willing to teach, and seasons. This is just general information. Operators are able to see it, but it's only if they are wanting to actually request you to come in to be their instructor that they would really look at this information. So the final section here, the letters of confirmation, this is where I would upload those letters. You need to have at least 2 signatures for every subject matter area. In my example, I have 1 subject matter area, so I will need to upload 2 letters showing my experience. In this case, I have my 2 attachments. If I wanted to attach more, if you want to upload proof of your education, you can attach the files here. Just have an attached file. You would provide a little description and then upload the item. SMA example number 1. Quick little refresh while it uploads. Perfect. And then we're ready to continue with the application. The next page takes me to payment. Dun, da, da, da. You have to pay with a Visa or MasterCard. By clicking Proceed, we end up going into the Bambora secure server that EOCP uses. Once the application is paid for, that's when it's submitted. All right, so I'm just going to leave this application here and head back to our presentation. So please note that a pending application will not be looked at until it is paid for. You can leave an application in pending status for as long as you like. The application item will not be reviewed by EOCP until it is submitted and paid for. You can come back to that draft application at any time. Only applicants who submit and pay for their applications will be pushed for review by our panel of subject matter experts. Once submitted, an application processing time is up to 10 business days. The only other thing that I would highlight about the application process is that there is a bit of typing. You saw all of those descriptions. If you wanted to take a bit of time beforehand and put them into another document and then copy and paste from that document, that can be easier. But you can also just type right into the application itself. Okay, now, once you are a recognized instructor, you can either apply to have your own courses that you've developed recognized, or you can apply to have yourself added to courses that are owned or developed by other recognized training providers. We're going to go back to the CRM to do a course application, an add instructor application, and look at the course completion forms. However, I'm going to use a wonderful lady as my example. Her name is Faith Johannson. She's one of the brightest sparks that ever calls the office, and she has graciously allowed us to use her profile today. She works with MTS as well. So in the CRM, once you're a recognized instructor, this instructor tab appears, and it's all those little details from the application itself. Descriptions that, in this case, descriptions that Faith provided when she applied to become an instructor. Her subject matter areas, she's got 6 of them. The options that appear for a recognized instructor start to include new course applications, course completion forms, and then there's also the ability to apply to teach a specific course that appears over here. For today, we're going to focus on the course application. So this is a new course. This course Faith owns. Faith is going to be providing a course. Now, the other options that are here are distance education, in-house training, or special events. Special events are more like conferences or one-time events that are occurring. In-house training would be specific to a training provider. So let's say the city of Kelowna. They do in-house training that they provide for themselves. Distance education can either be online or web-based, or it can be book or correspondence, or just courses. Today, we're just going to select courses. The course developer is Faith, and the course owner is MTS. So please note that it is possible for the developer and the owner to be different. In order to add the course owner, you need to make sure that you have a recognized relationship with them. So Faith is already an instructor with an established relationship to MTS. So when she's doing her course application, she is able to select course owner MTS. The title of this course is Faith's Awesome Water Course. Description by Heather. Smiley face. You can put as much or as little as you want. The field takes up to 600 characters. Next. So the next section is going through the course information itself. This information is used to determine the core and related allocations for a course. When the SMEs look at a course, they're looking to see its applicability to the individual utility types: water distribution, water treatment, wastewater collection, wastewater treatment, as well as the small systems: water, waste, and bulk water. Using the topics and objectives, the SMEs look at the course itself. Typically, a course will have 6 topics and 6 objectives. So topic 1 could be chlorination. An operator will obtain more knowledge of chlorination. Add another one. Topic 2. Objective 2. And so on. Topic 3. Objective 3. So as long as there's enough information here for our SMEs to determine how this applies to an operator within the utilities, that's the type of information that we're looking for here. Down here is the agenda section, and it's also where you're going to indicate how long the course is. For my hypothetical example, we're going to say that it's a 2-day course. Day 1 morning is 3 hours long. Topic 1. Day 1 morning. Topic 2 is an additional hour. And day 1 afternoon, the topic takes 4 hours. It's an 8-hour day. Day 2, topic 3, 4 hours. Topic 4. So, this is just a really, really basic agenda so that we can continue with the application. Obviously, you would put in a little more detail here about the topics that are being covered and how long. Please note that we don't give CEUs for lunch or breaks. You don't need to include those in the agenda. You wouldn't be allocated time towards CEUs for those. Next. Finally, on the course application page, this is the last section. You would indicate how much of the course is presented by the different methods. Different methods include that there's going to be maybe some hands-on for the operators to complete. There's going to be discussion times, or potentially just some slides that they're going to review. Videos can be presented, presentation or lectures. Operators tend to like more hands-on than no hands-on, so if you use hands-on as an example, there's usually great feedback about courses that have hands-on. Finally, with this course, we're looking for what materials are provided. So are there binders, are there handouts, posters, things like that? Is there equipment that they'll need or any equipment that will be used? So have to bring your own hard hat, something like that. Or will provide pumps and hydrants that the operator can take apart. Details like that in here. Evaluation. So will there be a performance demonstration at the end? Is there a course completion quiz? Or is there a final presentation of some sort? The last two questions are regarding approval from other jurisdictions. So let's say that Alberta has also recognized your course, or perhaps Ontario, and then any other comments that you want to provide. All of these fields will be saved if you press Save Draft. Just like the Instructor Application, when you press Save Draft, the Instructor Application is going to appear under Action Items, Applications. So back on Faith's profile, when this loads, under Action Items, Applications, there's going to be a brand new pending course that I started today. Faith can come back at any time and complete her new course application. All right, the other thing that instructors can do once they're recognized is add themselves to existing courses. So just as I showed you when creating a new course, you can indicate who the developer and the owner are. For new courses that Faith wants to attach herself to, let's say MTS has written a wastewater treatment course and they want Faith to instruct it. She needs to add herself to that course. Faith would log into her profile, go Action, Apply to Teach Course. And then she'd start typing wastewater treatment and she'd start looking for that course that MTS is providing. In this case, wastewater treatment level 1, owned by MTS. This next page is going to take you to the payment section. To be successful, you must include the application fee. It's a $5 processing fee, and an email is then sent to the course owner that says, hey, Faith says she's going to be teaching your course. Is that true? And the course owner, all they have to do is press yes or no. Once they press yes, two SMEs will take a look at it and quickly review the information. So I'm just going to close out of this one for now. The last thing that instructors want to find out for courses that exist operators want their CEUs. How do I generate course completion confirmation forms? So, on Faith's profile, to generate a course completion confirmation form, she would go Action, Course Completion Form. It opens up a little modal window for her to make selections through. So Faith's awesome chlorination course isn't quite recognized yet, but she's got lots and lots of other courses that she is allocated to. Let's say that she needs to provide a form for this hypochlorination course that she's providing. This is a field that you can't make edits to. This field is the dates for the course. So it's, let's say, next April 5th, going to be taught in Vernon at the MTS office, and Faith is the instructor. When you press submit, this is just generating the form. The form itself will download to your computer, and all you would do is print off as many copies of this form as you need for the operators that are going to be attending. The operator will fill out their name, their cert number, and at the end of the course, we need the instructor to sign the form itself, confirming that the operator attended the whole course and should get CEUs for their completion. You can either have the operator send these completed forms into EOCP themselves, or if you want to collect them, put them into a batch and send them to the EOCP office, you can. Our contact info is up here, but you can also email them to eocp@eocp.ca. This concludes our webinar for instructors. I really want to thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to contact me at the email address on the screen if you have any further questions or if you need me to walk through anything specific to your profile. Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking with you later.